Hello. I don't come on here very often. Just once in a while, something starts eating at me, and I feel like I've got maybe something to say that's relevant. Been kind of watching this Gabrielle Petito, Gabby, missing for a couple, 3 weeks now, maybe. Beautiful 22-year-old young lady. Appeared to be living a dream, running around with this boyfriend, fiance, whatever he is, Brian Laundrie. Traveling in a van, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming. Young people exploring the mountains, the wilderness. Sounds like a dream. Until something went wrong. Now, Gabby was posting a lot of Instagram and I guess some YouTube stuff, kind of documenting their adventures. And it seemed like they were having a pretty good time and getting along. Although I guess there was a disturbance of some type, and the law enforcement was called and did a little investigation. No one was charged. But the videos or the Instagrams stopped. And Gabby's mother wasn't able to communicate with her. And after a while, I believe it was September 11th, Mom decided to make a missing persons report. Well, lo and behold, Gabby's missing, and Brian Laundrie ends up back in Florida, South Florida on the Gulf there, apparently where he's from. And how did he get there? Apparently he drove Gabby's van. Wow. Nobody knows where Gabby is. There's searchers being organized, probably already active by the time this video gets viewed. And I guess Brian, through his attorney or family or whatever, has hoped that they're successful and etc. So nobody seems to know what happened to Gabby. Well, I don't think that's true. I think there's probably somebody that knows quite a bit. And that would be Brian. Brian Laundrie. Yeah. Well, Brian, I'm going to talk to you. And I've got a funny feeling that you might be watching this because you guys were kind of into this social media stuff. I just suspect that you're watching all this true crime world. And I haven't followed this case real close. But I love the mountains, and I've traveled those areas myself. And I've experienced a similar situation that you two were experiencing. But here's my point. Mom, Dad are heartbroken like any parents would be. And you're not cooperating? You drive Gabby's van all the way back to Florida in short order, apparently. So somebody does know something about where or what happened to Gabby. And Brian, that's you. So I'm talking to you, Brian Laundrie. One thing I noticed in one of Gabby's Instagrams or YouTube shorts that was being broadcast around, and you're in the mountains somewhere kind of in the wilderness, looks like a beautiful area, and you're in the background with your yoga mat, and you're doing some yoga exercises, stretching, I believe Gabby said. Well, if you have an interest in yoga, you probably know what I'm about to tell you. Maybe you don't, so I'll tell you anyway. Yoga comes from the East, and it was brought to the West in around the 1940 era and became very popular during the 60s, 70s, and still popular today. And I believe what you were doing is called Hatha Yoga. I could be wrong on that. But point being is all of the yoga that comes back to us from the East is based on a spiritual foundation, a perfection of ourselves, of our beings, a means to reach a self-realization, to be all that we can be. And so, doing those exercises out in the wilderness, outdoors, it's a wonderful experience, I'm sure. I've done a little of that myself. But being that it is based on a spiritual philosophy, and that would mean that you, knowing that, would have to know what the word karma means. Well, Brian, you're creating some really damn evil, negative karma for yourself. You got yourself an attorney, not cooperating with the police apparently. And maybe by the time this thing is aired, maybe you have talked to the police. I hope you have. But I'm telling you, we've all been hit right in the chops or kicked at the other end by karma that we created. It's happened to all of us. But you're talking some really raw, serious, evil stuff here, bud. So I'd suggest you maybe give it some serious thought, and maybe it's time to try and create some good karma out of this, whatever this is. You know where she was last seen, where you left her, whatever the situation was, you know it. And everybody knows that you know it. Certainly the Creator knows. And that karmic wheel, it never stops rolling. So it's time for you to do something about it, buddy. It's so obvious. You know, people make mistakes. Situations get out of control. People do things they maybe didn't intend to do. But the cover-up is what usually gets them. Showing a little remorse for whatever might have happened or whatever you did or wherever you left her or whatever's gone wrong in this situation needs to be corrected, needs to be addressed, and you're the one that has to do it. So let's turn that karmic wheel in a positive direction, get with your attorney, and start cooperating. I'll tell you one thing. I wouldn't want Gabby's dad after me. He looks like somebody that could probably take care of you. We don't want that to happen. Probably won't happen. You'll be well protected. But there's an angry man. I've got a daughter roughly that age. And I guarantee you, I'd be doing all I could. And I'll leave it at that. So, probably bored you enough. So I'll get off of Brian Laundrie. Do the right thing. For the rest of you, YouTube viewers, subscribers, thank you so much for hanging in there with me. I know I'm not consistent. I just don't come on here looking for a big following or whatever. When I feel like I've got something that I want to say, I'm on here. I don't know that I've done any good, but I've got some loyal subscribers and fans, and I appreciate that. So I ask you to share this, subscribe if you haven't, hit this bell thing. I'm really not up on that stuff, but I guess it notifies you when I post something. So I'd appreciate all those kind of things and those likes and all the things that YouTube needs. And I want to thank everybody for my book, which is back there, House Secrets. It's doing fairly well. Many of you bought it, and I appreciate the nice reviews. So there'll be a link in the description under this video to tell you where to purchase that if you'd be interested. You'll learn a lot about me. And Brian, if you were to read House Secrets, and it sounds like you got plenty of time to read, and you may have a lot of time in the future to read, there's some real karmic messages in that book for you, or for anyone. Have a good day.